Sup, guys? It's been about a day. I hadn't done like I hadn't done like the shadow boxing in a few days I because like work and stuff. But we'll be back onto it. I'm definitely will be back on it. Most likely winning later on a day or tomorrow. You'll probably will see the next day of it tomorrow. I'll probably like 2 days, like 4 and 5 slash. Or I'll probably do like two things at the same time. Now, I wanted to talk about today is that how exactly how exactly are we going to walk away out of 2024 and what we're going to expect in 2025. My prediction theories could be wrong. I could be completely opposite on this one, but I really wanted to sit down because we're it's at the time recording. It's September 23rd, 2024, and we are very close to October, November, and December. Then boom, 2025. 2024 was an interesting year, a very interesting year. Some good and some bad, and far more worse in between. I want to shed some light into this one and say that if we are walking into 2025, I hope and pray that we actually do see some changes here. Like I'm tired of having I'm tired of having leaders I'm tired of having leaders that does nothing but create so many more problems outside of situations that is not in their control, and then there's so many problems that is in communities and stuff, and then they just shrug it off like if it's nothing, like we're supposed to fix it ourselves. like I don't get it. Like being a leader doesn't mean you have to tackle every single problem on earth. It's just focusing on one or two things that's already there, so you can put all your time and energy into that. You know what I'm saying? Listen, now we can't fix every problem on earth right at the moment, but what we can do is that we could try to fix what we already have. Like for example, like I'm going to use the USA for example because that's where I live currently. For you, you might have your own. For anyone living anywhere else in the world, it could be something else. We might have a universal problem too, but I want to specifically talk about this primarily. Like for example, inflation. That's an easy problem that could require some time, focus, and fix. What about the housing crisis? People aren't buying homes. People can't buy homes, let alone they can't even pay. They don't have enough to pay for rent. That's another easy problem that requires time and energy and really time to put in. I'm not expecting these leaders to be the greatest. I just want them to be good leaders so they could lead an example to the next generation. That's literally it. Like it's so rare these days to find a good leader. At least we could become the leaders. We could become those leaders, and together we can actually put some good use into this stuff. There are so many problems in this world, but we can't fix them all in a matter of we can't fix them all in a flash. It's just not how that works. half of these problems was Half of these problems are century old problems that most likely can never really be fixed. Some problems in the world can be solved, but others requires more communities. Like for example, homelessness. Like the average person there's the average person on the street right now is homeless. There's usually three, maybe four different types. You have those you have those who are you have those who are drug addicts. You know, no. Actually, you have those who chose to be homeless by choice. Not everybody wants to be homeless, and funny enough, I was speaking to an older guy. He was homeless, and he told me that homelessness wasn't always like this. Some people chose it out of necessity because they genuinely did not want to work, and they genuinely did not they did they didn't want to participate in life, so they genuinely just chose to be on the streets. But for some, they were most likely drug addicts. Some may have some kind of addiction, and others, well, it wasn't by choice, and the circumstances and the situation what led to them got to them and got to this situation and what led to this as well. I had a I had a coworker once that I used to work with, getting paid the same minimum wage as me, but she was living in she was living in she was living with roommates and stuff. She was constantly moving from apartment to apartment. She was always stressed out, very suicidal. She had like two dogs. She was a strict woman, but once you got to know her, she was a very sweet lady. I don't know where she's at right now, but I think she's a supervisor somewhere. But I'm proud of what she's accomplishing so far. I mean, we she has come a long way. She's come a long way, man. Hope I really does put a smile on my face sometimes. But it's not always going to be easy, and I'm not expecting anyone to solve these problems right away. Not everybody's going to agree with you, and some may will. But some of these problems can also trace back to who is our current leaders and what they're actually doing. Like if like being a leader holds so much holds so much weight, but in a contest, it's not really that much simple. I guess over the years, as time went on, as civilization grew, more and more problems started to happen, and they just have this expectation where everybody needs to solve every problem, and that's impossible. It's physically impossible to solve every problem, no matter how perfect it is. You want to know why? You want to know why countries? You don't want to know why in the U.S. we haven't seen like a coup or overthrow. There is so many. There are three branches of government that is broken down into layers upon layers upon layers and branches of government. It would be impossible, and I bet there's some similar system. That's why country's been maintained for like 80 plus years, and I'm surprised too because by this point a nation should have already been snapped away, should have been snapped from the face of the earth. Look, I'm not saying that we should be out here we should out here be at war and stuff, but but what we're all in right now is not healthy neither. It's not healthy. Now I'm always grateful for the smallest things, and I do appreciate what life has to offer, but I can't say for the person that lives thousands and thousands of miles away who is dealing in crisis. You know what I'm saying? It's going to create an unnecessary cycle of hate. And I get it. No one wants to be invaded. No one wants their land to be taken over by invaders. No one wants to deal with the war. No one wants to watch no one wants to lose their fathers, their brothers, their sons, uncles. They don't no one wants to lose anybody. Not even me personally, but I know my mother wouldn't want losing me. But humans, we as humans have this very unquestionable desire to do things, to do change. You know? It's like you live the life that you are being told to, and you feel that there's something more to it, you know? Something better. But there isn't another option to all this, right? Only time will tell. I just hope that we walk in 2025 and I do see something better. I guess I'll see you around.